Hi and good afternoon, guys. I'm actually in town towards where the hospital is, which is the building you can see in the background, and I found another memorial. I'm just going to scope round a little bit to give you a better view of it, because it's in the light. It always goes a little bit blue here, I don't know why. So you can see the top, it's the angel with the wreath, and obviously it's the soldiers at the bottom. But this is a specific one. It's big, but it is a specific one. It's for the Yorkshire and Lancaster regiment, which is a major regiment in both wars. And as you can see, it says here, to the everlasting glory, or everlasting honour and glory of the 8,814 officers, non-commissioned officers and men of the York and Lancaster regiment who fell in the Great War 1914-1919. And then there's an addendum also for the 1,222 members of the regiment who fell in the war 1939 to 1945. And then obviously it's a huge space and place. To give you an idea, so you've got this officer here, he's life size, and the plinth that he stood on, which is that one there, is my head level, and I'm just under 6 feet. So it gives you a good idea of the size of the thing. It's humongous. And obviously you've got the equipment and trappings of the regiment, because it's an old regiment, as you may or may not know. I thought I'd just share that one with you. We're in a park actually called Weston Park. I wonder what this is. This says, planted by members of the 2/3 WR Field Ambulance Old Comrades in memory of their fallen comrades in 1914-1918. So this may have been planted 100 years or more ago, and obviously it's a full-grown tree now, so this is something that's in memory for them. We're in a park called Weston Park, and it has quite a few statues and memories. This looks old actually, it looks like the 1800s. It's the York and Lancaster regiment again, but look at this. That looks like the Crimean or the Boer War. That's the rifleman that came a long time ago. It says the York and Lancaster regiment, India, Nive, I'm not sure what Nive is. Oh, India, Nive Peninsula, Arabia, Lucknow, New Zealand, Egypt, 1882. Tel El Kabir, Egypt, 1884, South Africa. And then it's got names: Commanding Officer of the 3rd Battalion, Colonel J.G. Wilson OB. There's quite a lot of names there. And at the bottom it says, to the memory of the officers and men who gave their lives for their country in the South African War 1899 to 1902, of all battalions of the Yorks and Lancaster regiment, this memorial was erected by their comrades. So this was something that was done as a memory for them. And it's basically the size of a large gate. And it explains the uniforms, because that's the African campaign, so to speak. I mean, the politics of colonialism aside, it's just stunning work in terms of what it is. I don't discuss politics on my channel, it's not something I'm interested in particularly. And it says exactly the same thing on the other side. Yeah, it's the same, it's exactly the same, it's just a two-sided thing. And then you've got that one there. So the Yorks and Lancaster must have a very big and strong history with this park and this area. That's probably what it is. There's another one here. Quite like statues and monuments. This is more of a monument and a remembrance to Elliot. Do you like the building in the background? I'm going to film a little bit of that another time. But this is Ebenezer Elliot owned an iron foundry in Sheffield. 1781 to 1849, was also a poet and campaigned strongly against the Corn Laws, which put a tax on corn and made bread more expensive. Eliot's poetry on the Corn Laws resulted in his nickname of the Pauper's Poet or the Corn Law Rhymer. So Rich and powerful man trying to do something for the poor. That's something. Don't often hear that. So over here at the far end, as you can see, that's actually Weston Park Museum, and it's open sort of up until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's probably about 2:30, 2:45 now. But it's a well-traversed park. It's in the middle of town in the city. It's next door to the university, and that building is the university, but I'll be going round there another time. It's the closest thing you've got to a castle in my city, so I'll be getting some time out and doing that. Probably on a very early morning on Saturday or Sunday, because it's traffic-wise, it's less busy, so you can get round it. But that's the front entrance of the actual museum. Big building, and then as we pop further down this way, it's a popular spot down here for the swans and the ducks and what have you, so we're just going to take a quick wander down there. Apologies guys if it's a little bit shaky today. I've not actually got my little Steadicam thing, my little gimbal. I'm doing this by hand. I've dropped somebody off at the hospital, and they're going to be about half an hour to an hour, so I thought I'd do that. This is interesting. In the parks. In loving memory of Violet and Ernest Slynn, forever in our hearts. There's a thing here where you can actually sponsor a bench for people who have passed on as a memoriam, and for somewhere for you to sit and remember them. In loving memory of a wonderful friend, Tracy Roderick, 1968 to 2007. Bless Lovey. That's sweet. Yeah, they do that as a memoriam. Yeah, we're just going to pop down because I'm not sure if it's frozen over. It's looking like it might be actually, but we'll get down and have a closer look. It did snow last night, and it's cleared up most of it here because this is slightly lower down. Where I was, it was still quite bad, but it seems to have been. Yeah, it does look like the lake's frozen. Let's go around and have a quick look. It is. It's definitely frozen. So you're going to get ducks walking across and on it rather than swimming in it, because it's just not. They're just not able to do that at the moment, obviously. So, so there's a small part where they can, and that should become obvious in a minute. And you can see them walking on the frozen patch and swimming in the bit that isn't. And I think what's happened is this is the bit that's had the sunshine and the rest of it's frozen over. So you've got the ducks, here they are, happily having happy times as usual, as ducks like to do. And then you've got some of them walking around on the icy bits. Coming up quite close really, that's not far off from where I am. Quite happy to walk up to you if you've got a bit of food. The boots there is quite a big one. Oh, fountain started. That's probably why this hasn't frozen over, because you've got a working fountain that's kept going just to keep that bit opened up. There we go, look. Got a chap feeding them. They're all coming up now. It's quite some good colours here. Just going to pop a little closer to get a closer view. That's right by my feet practically. Coming over to investigate. Goose are big. Plenty of seagulls. Look at that. Goose are saying gimme gimme. Hungry beggars. I didn't know they did this. If I did, I would have brought something for them. Having a bit of a chomp. See? Pigeons, geese, ducks, the whole 9 yards. I shall definitely be bringing some food to be feeding these guys next time I come. One right here by my feet. To give you an example, that's my feet there, and that's the duck. And there we go, look at that. How close are they? I could literally reach out and stroke these things. I'm not going to because they're probably going to have a go. But this gives you a good idea. Now they're all heading, look, they're all heading in the other direction there because somebody's dropping bread. Look at them go. Suddenly there's food to be had. So let's all disappear off. The fountain's going again. And they've lost interest in me. Off he goes. Magnificent specimen, as you can see. Popping over there, looking for a bit of something to eat. And all around me as well. So this is the park that I was in last year. This is one of the first videos that I did. I literally came down. Pigeons mostly here and some seagulls, smaller seagulls. I literally came down to do some filming and just did one of those ambient 10-hour things where it was just background sound. But as you can see, these babies are much more interactive. I was here later in the day, so they were just literally sort of popping off to try and sleep. And now, of course, they're wide awake and ready for a little bit of a munch. So I'm coming round again. And again, apologies for the shakiness. I just don't have my steadying gimbal with me. But this is what the park's popular for, actually. At this side of it, you'll have oodles of birds just coming over, getting something to eat. You can feed them, and they're relatively tame in the fact that they will come to you quite happily. Quite happily, look at that. So here we go again, look, mostly pigeons. It's a pigeon fest, but the ducks are all over here on this side. I'm going to try and scooch through, look at that, set off. Set off, I decided to do a bit of flying. There we go, more ducks being fed. And the goose is back. Fun times. Ah, look, cheeky seagull caught some. But the pigeons are back. This is right up to my feet. My feet are here. The pigeons are here. I could literally reach out and pick one up. Having a bit of a ding dong look. Nice lady here, she's doing a little bit of feeding. And so the pigeons have come up to the top, but the ducks prefer to stay on the ground on the ice, I think. There we go. See, seagull got it again. They're pretty quick, aren't they, on the uptake, these seagulls? Apparently in some of the coastal areas they like to snatch your chips out of your hand. And there you go, a little bit of wildlife. Okay, I've got something going off in my ear. Let me just switch that off. That's unusual, isn't it? A white pigeon. It's found some food, so the mates are coming over. And that is trying to nick the bread out of his mouth. Oh, bit of a squabble. Bit of a squabble. Look at that. You didn't see that. Dive bomb, dive bomb. It's a mad dash. The pigeons are really on it. The seagulls are really on it, sorry, not the pigeons. They like to be fed. Okay, look at this guy here. So on that note, here we go. The ducks are going back in the water. They've got almost a shoreline as the ice, which is ironic and unusual, I suppose. The last time I did it, I was over on that side. But this time I've had an opportunity to do it here, so I'm going to call it a day at that one, and we can watch the last of the ducks and the pigeons and the big old goose which is over there. Oh, off they go. Still fighting for food. So guys, I'm going to leave it here on that one. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it somewhat interesting. Weston Park in the middle of Sheffield city centre. Well, not far off. It's probably a half a mile off the city centre area. It's smack bang in the middle of the university area and the hospital. So this is the university building, the back of the big building that I'll do another day. And that one over there is the children's hospital. It's the main children's hospital for the city. And then that's the museum that's on site, the bandstand in the middle. And then there's university buildings further down over that way and some accommodation. But it's a decent sized park, and actually there's a park next door with a bigger lake. But this is the one that always has the birds, as you can see, having fun and being fed. And that guy's got a full thing, so I'll leave it there for now. Hope you've liked it. By all means, send us a like and a subscribe. And no doubt I will see you on the next one. Thanks very much. Bye for now.